my God. So I was on watch. Our apparent wind was below 20. It was hovering around the 18s. We had our code 0 out and a full main. And all of a sudden I hear this whoosh, and then flap, 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 flap. I signaled the horn twice. Just dropped off the recycling. It's interesting, in the French countries, they recycle glass and plastic, but not aluminum cans. And so I'm doing my final walk now with Schatzi while Dennis gets the boat ready. We're gonna get fuel and then head to Sint Maarten to pick up crew. Crazy. We're getting lots of fuel because fuel is only going to be more expensive in Europe. Here at the marina office is where I will check out of Guadeloupe. Adding a case of beer and 4 Nutellas. We have not been able to find Nutella in a while. And our grand total is $14.08. Thank you very much, Lionel. Starting our overnight passage from Guadeloupe to Sint Maarten. Now, what was that trick that you did?
I'm gonna give it like a bit of a yank so that it's kind of more aligned.
All right.
Okay.
You ready?
Ready.
All right. Pulling out on the port sheet. Seems tight. There, whatever you just did, that loosened it up.
Yeah, there it goes. All right,
I'll turn off engines.
Yep.
It could come in a tiny bit.
All right, I'm gonna go 5 more.
Oh wait, you're moving the boat?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna change the sail if you're changing our heading.
Yeah.
I just woke up with quite a fright. We're underway on the way to Grenada, but I didn't remember that. And the dog wasn't here in the bed, which she normally would be. But we don't bring her down under passage. She doesn't like the noises down here. Anyway, then I was worried that she was somewhere else, but she's fine. She's upstairs with Dennis while he's on watch, and my watch is almost over. We had stashed the watermelon and cabbage in this little corner, and look who has found a little spot to sleep right next to it. She stays awake all night under passage and has to be on someone's lap, and then she wears herself out and crashes all day long.
So we just totally lost our code 0. Ann was on shift. Blasts the horn, wakes me up, signal to come up, all hands. So I come up and I see that there's like code 0 left, and it is like half in the water, but there's still a halyard, and it's just dunked in the water. So now she's taking off the preventer for the jib, because we were down at about a 120, and the jib doesn't really do much at that angle. So she took that off. We're back at pretty much at a beam. So I'll be curious to see what happens next. I think that sail is toast because it appears to have shredded or separated along the torsion line. So that's the entire seam that goes vertically, because when we pulled it down, it was still attached to the sheet, but when I brought the halyard down, it was just this little sliver, and that was it. Maybe a little bit up top, but it is, I think it's done.
Oh my God, what a relief. We are now arriving at Sint Maarten, Simpson Bay. It's always very rolly, but I don't care at this point. Basically like pulling an all-nighter, but you get these little bouts of sleep who we trade off who's awake. So we're both like walking zombies from one night of, it's tough. Got into Simpson Bay. Here is our code 0. That is the tack of the sail. Here you can see the whole luff of the sail coming all the way down. And it was hard to spread out because it's pretty windy in this anchorage, but see, it goes there, wraps around there. There's the rest of the luff. It basically is shredded all along the luff of the sail. While I was on watch, all of a sudden we were just holding course, never going above 18 apparent wind speed. And we've flown at much higher. Dennis even saw very low 20s, like 21, 22 apparent. But we've flown the sail in those wind conditions many, many times before. And for whatever reason, when I heard that big crash, it ripped all along the luff line. You can see that right there. And you can see the start of it. This is the tack end over here. See that? You can see all along the entire luff. So we're going to take it to a sail lock. We also have a message out to our sail maker of Zoom Sails asking what the heck could cause this. Just finished customs here at St. Maarten. It was actually a little easier than normal because apparently they're out of power. Darn. We are here at the sail lock. After the hellacious sail we had last night, sailing 24/7, we're getting a drink here at Lagoonies and leaving our mark.
As always.
He's so cute!
Look at that sexy boat. What you doing?
Taking the beach dinghy wheels off. It's very awkward. You're taking advantage.
Of what?
My butt there. Hey. Oh well, there we go.
Alright, and what are you spraying on there? The PB Blast.
Penetrating spray. Hey.
Well, you're in the position. Is that like a PB Blast?
Yeah, I guess so. I think we got it in South Africa.
Yeah. So I opened up the door that gets us into the line locker where all the line comes in, and it also is where the bottom side of the winch motors are, because I wanted to make a check by pulling this cap off to see if there's any rust or corrosion. Some of the other owners have reported this part under here, because the way the winches sit, you can see, that water potentially could come in and get these wet, and then water, electricity don't always combine and behave well together. But when I open this door, it's this nasty freaking stench, and there's the culprit right there. Somehow a flying fish jumped and made its way into the line locker, so now I gotta fish that nastiness out. Ugh. Pulled all the line out, filled up a bucket with some water and bleach, and then I'm gonna have to get in there and clean that out because it just stinks to high heaven. All right, that is nice and cleaned out. I even took the little floor cover, scrubbed that clean. It's just kind of drying out, and I'll just put it all back in there. And also having all the lines out gives them a chance to dry. Well, I removed the cap, the bottom cap, and you can see, yep, there is a good fair amount of corrosion going on there. This is the second winch. Now fortunately it looks a lot better because there's just a little bit over here on that side, so I'll put some of that rust remover spray on, rub it in a little bit, and then do the same as I will on the first one. So just pull off. There we go. Yay! That one actually looks very good. So I sprayed some of this on, the Starbright Rust Eater Converter. It's been sitting on there for a while, and then I'm going to take this brush, scrub that rust off, and then I'm going to come after it with this, which is a rust preventer and also helps protect electrical wiring. Because as you can see, there's a fair amount of electrical wiring in that area once I put that cap back on. My brush, I'm going to clean that up And then I'll probably get a wet cloth with just some water, maybe a little bit of vinegar, but come after that. So I'll get some of these chunky pieces out of there. And then I can put the rust preventer on afterwards. Okay, there, sprayed on my, basically it's a T9 rust preventer. And I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit, and then it's back to putting the end caps back on. I think part of the reason this one had more signs of corrosion than these two is because of this skirt. And if you recall, the previous video, Anne sewed on this little extension piece because before it was practically impossible to get this zipper down. And then this one, you can see it's just a little bit different because this zipper will come up to all the way over here. And I think this one's a little more exposed at times. I've got my end caps back on. And then now I can take that skirt and then zip that back up. And then it should be good to go. And I can put everything back together and put all the lines back in as well. We took the Beachmaster wheels off so we could sell them because we never really use them. That leaves us with 8 holes. Getting ready for our passage. Obviously one of the things we need to check is our life vests. Years ago we replaced ours, and you can see the amount of corrosion that is set in. So obviously we need to replace these before we go. And when I look at it, the threading looks compatible.
Yeah.
But the size is not. Well, it's just longer.
Well, I like longer.
Well, I know you like longer. But
So
that
how
doesn't
is it
necessarily mean
not?
it's better. It is also 33 grams. It will work because if you look at the spin lock, Pro Sensor Elite, 33 grams.
Shopping with mommy and you get to ride in the cart. Yeah, are you so cute?
Hey, look here, look here.
Yeah, just this overlap is the part that pulls apart.
Okay.
So that has to be, well, at least as much as the rest of the horizontal joints are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, Maddie.
Back in video number 94, I repaired the Code Zero after a failed launch. It hadn't been properly furled and we hadn't taped or tied it off every meter, so it caught on the spreaders going up. I followed a Sailrite video for the repair, but later learned from Phil at Zoom Sails, who made all our sails and is quickly becoming the go-to for other balance owners, that my patch wasn't strong enough. Maddie, who did the pro repair, said there's way more to it than that video showed. That weak patch, it's what led to the massive tear.
Went shopping.
Heavy.
Chain.
Oh, chain for the dinghy, yeah, for sure.
Open it up. Our gift from Rob.
So our best friend Rob. That is amazing. I can't believe he did that.
I know.
A new bracelet for me, because he gave me one and I loved it, but
Yeah.
for you, and
Yay.
my little seashell necklace. Oh my gosh, this is, Rob, you are beyond belief. Sandbags for the
orcas.
orcas, because one of the things, because we're going to go through the Straits of Gibraltar, which is near Portugal, and Spain, the southern coast there, and that's where a lot of the orca attacks have been occurring. So what we read is you fill these up with sand, obviously, and then when you see them, you dump the sand because it dorks up their sonar. Hugs, kisses.
Oh, yay.
What? There's no money. GTFO and crew, love you, miss you. See you on the other side for winds, fair winds and following seas, Eleuther Mania.